Video has a powerful message for narc abuse survivors. Let's watch.
Do yourself a favor and master the art of exit only when necessary, so that you do not continue to run back to the trauma home that you came out of. Not every conversation deserves your breath, your time, or your energy, and not every silence is meant for you to break. When the frequency fades, don't chase the static. Change the station. Listen, when someone starts mishandling your worth, don't hand them more time hoping that they will figure it out. You're not a puzzle to be solved. You're a mirror. Either they will reflect respect or they will distort it. And when the distortion becomes the norm, walk. Not in anger, not in spite, but in power. See, the problem is we have been taught to stay, to fix, to plead. But sometimes growth doesn't come from fixing. It comes from releasing. And you can't water dead soil and expect flowers. You can't beg for love in places that feed off your drought. So hear me. Don't waste your divine energy. Don't waste your spirit. Don't waste your time trying to ignite a flame in someone who keeps bringing you water. Some connections expire. Some hearts unlearn you. Some people were just visitors in your story, not co-authors of your legacy. Let them go with grace, with your head held high, like you finally remember who you are. You are not abandoned. You are redirected. You are not hard to love. You are just loving in the wrong direction. Do yourself a favor. Don't fight for your place in someone else's confusion. Stand tall in your own clarity.
You are trained to bleed for love, but what if we can choose something different? When you grow up in narcissistic abusal households, you are trained to stay. You are trained to fix. You can't water dead soil and expect flowers. You were not hard to love. You were just loving in the wrong direction. These 3 quotes from this video are the ones that just stopped me cold in my tracks. Let me know, comment down below which ones that you related to or that stuck out to you. So many of us thought that love meant to shrink ourselves and to overgive and to bend ourselves backwards like contortionists to make others feel emotionally safe and to make others feel secure, neglecting your own needs, your own boundaries, your own everything. Growing up around narcissism teaches you things early. Let's start with the basics. You earn love by being quiet, agreeable, and passive, and useful. And if you try to assert the truth or assert your boundaries, you're told that you're the problem. Problem. We keep handing our hearts to people who never were meant to or even know how to handle them. So what do? We stay. We try harder. We fight. We shift, we mold our perspectives, the things we like and don't like, the things that we truly believe to be true, and the things that are false. We fight for our spot in someone else's confusion just to avoid being alone. But ultimately, what I'm realizing now is being alone tops all of that chaos. But here's the truth that set me free, and this quote from that video really was just so impactful. When he says to not change the static, or no, not chase the static, but to change the station. Every silence is not meant for you to break, and not every conversation deserves your breath, especially with people who you know are toxic. If you're used to narcissistic people ignoring you as a manipulation tactic in order to get you to chase or to question your own worth or your truth and your reality, then silence is such a even when it's not done with any malice, it can really make you spin around like in your head. And it's hard to learn and to adopt the mentality that healthy people have, in the sense where when they experience silence, they don't use that or see that as a sign to continue chasing and pursuing who you know aren't there to reconcile and to come to a mutual understanding, but are there to win for their own egos. You were taught to stay, to fix, to carry the emotional weight of those who hurt you, to carry the truth and the pain behind their actions, their words, that cut, that slice that were meant to tear you down, to uplift themselves. This conditioning does not disappear overnight. You might leave their home. You might start a channel like this where some of them already found it and I'm barely even posting, and the guilt will follow you. The what ifs echo in your mind. What if they change? What if I'm overreacting? What if maybe they really aren't that bad after all the pain and impact they've caused you? While they continue on, seemingly unscathed, seemingly with no remorse, because this just wasn't their problem. Their impact wasn't their problem. But ask yourself, why does healing require you to suffer more? That's not healing, that's emotional survival. He says you're not a puzzle to be solved, and that's so real. People will either have the emotional and like logical and just the capacity to understand you and learn you and love you, or they will have the capacity to distort you, the chaos that they're used to create confusion. And when that distortion becomes the norm, you don't stay and beg them and try to prove yourself even more. You walk. You have to. You have to step out of this pattern of abuse, this cycle that you have been conditioned to be a part of since you were a kid. Not in anger, not in spite, but in your power. You were not abandoned. You were not. You were just redirected. And that can seem especially hard when it means you're redirected away from your own blood, your own family, your own relationships that you poured into and that you hold dearly to you. But there is a version of your life that doesn't require you to perform for love. A version that knows how to be soft and safe and no longer fights for crumbs at tables that God never sat you at, or that God was waiting for you to stand up and walk away from. Imagine this, right? You are sitting at that table and the narcs don't care. They just get up, they go, just get their own needs met. They get up and go to this table like a buffet, and they're just walking around just taking all that they need. And you're still sitting stuck at that table with your plate empty that they took from you. We got to stand up. We got to see, okay, this is what we were dealt with. All right, understand that. But we can't mentally and psychologically and emotionally chain ourselves to that seat. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard because you want justice for yourself. Your body, your soul will not leave that table until you feel the justice has been served. That this is just no way. You can't fathom that you are just supposed to just experience this and feel this way and let they just, walk away. I promise you, if you get up from that table, that you will find yourself in rooms and doing things and loving yourself and being loved by people and just thriving beyond the abuse. And that's what this channel is about. Here we talk about narc abuse, but we're not going to talk like other channels, like we're not going to talk about narc abuse like other channels do. We're going to talk about how to thrive after that, how to heal beyond that, and we're going to heal together. We're going to shift our precious spotlight, our precious attention back onto ourselves, because we're done consuming content about them, about their tactics and manipulation and things they do, what they're thinking. We can't keep giving them our energy by we're sitting at that table still while watching these videos and consuming it and just trying to nitpick and just dissect what they're doing and how they're doing this and that red flag. How many years are we gonna just keep doing that? How many years are we gonna stay at that table stuck waiting for our vengeance? Because that's truly what we want. He said, don't waste your divine energy in places that thrive off of your drought. Let let them go with grace, with fire. We can give ourselves, and we can find other people who are secure and that will give us the love that we deserve and reciprocate that. We don't need it from them. In silence, change station. We're no longer, and I still catch myself doing that. Like, I'm getting silence and I'm just like, oh my god, let me double text. And framing it under, oh, I'm empowered. I don't care if I don't respond. Like, we rationalize these things so that we continue to chase because that silence is uncomfortable. When really, if we just put in our heads, oh, change station. If this person is not, reciprocating, all right, move on because another person will. We don't need to change. We need to just change places. Like, we need to remember who the hell we are for real. Like, how are we, like, think about it. Okay, I'm kind of going on a tangent right now, but think about it. You were the only one in your family cult that didn't turn narcissist. You still question yourself. You still are scared. Like, for me as well, I'm scared. I don't want to become like them because I've been raised around them. You still check yourself, You still, even though it's hard, you try to be, as honest as you try not to exhibit the traits that they do. Remember who the hell you are. Remember who you are because you were meant to thrive beyond the abuse. You were meant to do something into your patience and your perseverance, and the pain that you experience was meant to propel you to become the best version and live the best life and live and love deeply and just be the best version of yourself. Anyways, this is Aisha. Welcome and subscribe if this is, the kind of content that you would like to see because I saw no one else doing it. So I said I might as well have to come behind the screen and freaking start making videos that people can watch that aren't constantly bombarding us with more narc content. No. The conversation's on us. How do we get up? Okay? Anyways, thank you.